which made such a fine deterrent to war. One has to ask, them dead, who shall take the throne?
No. Did I say that right? Respectively? Yes, it would be overcast all the time, but wouldn't care. I mean, you're so emotionally hollow, you could literally beat closure out of the things that cause you pain. You would know grief was coming, see it coming, and dispatch it via vengeance most bloody. And then, unlike in real life, you're at peace, completely unhaunted by your grisly crimes.
I trust this will suffice.
God smiles upon the generous.
Oh, away with you! Back to your cesspit, beggar!
Confronted by swinging a chain around. That is simpler.
Yeah, and the gritty theme is very popular. You'll get buzz just off of that.
No, I don't understand what you think.
A land grotesque as its people. You dreamt of utopia. You saw the tribes united as one. Oh. That dream died long ago. You should have done the same. Your kingdom will perish alongside you. By my hand.
I cannot fathom it. His Majesty killed in his own bed.
The blooms upon the prince's grave had yet to wilt, without an heir to wear the crown. What will become of the royal magic?
Thus vulnerable, an invasion might undo us.
From within or without, the state hangs on a precipice. It may even come to civil war.
In dark times, we must stand together.
Your Eminence!
Who could do this?
Few could even enter the king's chambers, let alone draw close. And yet,
His Majesty's arcane power could deflect near any blade. With all the royal bloodline's magic, who could harm him at all?
shadows stir in the castle just as they did with the prince. What hellbound soul could end a royal life? Who would dare such atrocity?
Luis.
A shame to die with no heirs.
Hello, friends.
The prince was taken
My
too
name's
soon.
JJ, and like many
And
people,
only a
I was
king may
fairly
wield the royal
surprised
scepter,
by
the very crux of his vaunted bloodline's magic, which made such a fine deterrent to war.
was a much more
One has to ask,
it could even be
them
described
dead,
as a fluke
who shall take the throne?
electoral system, but this victory was unambiguous and decisive, which also makes it a much more meaningful thing for political commentators like myself to seek to analyze and understand. And one of the ways that
War is on the horizon.
is by trying to
Before they
understand
command that I dry my pen,
re-election
I must finish my final work.
perspective. So today,
It is a tale of hope that may yet salvage this world.
returning to power might affect the character, Canadian politics, as well as
It isn't right.
Canadian relationship.
This idea of foreigners has only ever been a tool against the foreign.
Considerably more than the first one did.
If we could end such prejudice, surely war would be next to fade.
Hello, friends.
We would be free to travel to far-flung lands.
Election season, you might be looking to do something nice for yourself.
The reality is, we are riddled with anxiety.
I have never gotten
We
that
fight.
too close.
We oppress.
I've always been meaning to
And
give it a
magic
try.
is but a tool of war.
Be quite attractive on other
Our
people.
world
Well,
could be
this is
better.
where our friendly
Can we
friends
not
at
dream such dreams?
Scentbird can help out. Scentbird is a subscription service that delivers a little. Just get the new year.
In such a world, they need no sorcery. A megapolis is built through learning and skilled labor. Glass spires reach the heavens. Safe nights with no dark shadows. Streets well traveled. And in the laws of these emotionally satisfied people, it reads, all lives are equal. I know. Just a daydream. Castle on a cloud.
Which leads us into the first question to ponder.
Yet I have faith. I believe that fiction can become hope, wielded by a worthy avatar. I believe a hero will stand true and change the world.
The only thing that could possibly alter this
After all, this world need not stay like this forever.
that radically altered
The will to believe in something beyond us, indeed that, is what we call fantasy.
I used to think so, but now I'm not so sure. If Trump had been elected in a very narrow way, like he was in 2016, I think it is possible that Trudeau could use the shock of that victory and make himself attractive by comparison. You know, a symbol of peace, a contrast to the wild fluctuations of the Trump then proceeded to use his thin mandate to govern in an extreme brutal, chaotic way. It would be similarly easy for Trudeau to portray himself as a calm, passionate alternative, and Trudeau would paint his rival, party leader Pierre Poilievre, as basically a Trump in waiting, a similarly destructive style of government on Canada. And yet, I now feel it is easier to second guess the fact that Trump won as decisively as he did makes it clear that a lot of Americans were very hungry for change. They didn't trust their incumbent administration, even though it was pretty obvious all of the ways that the leader of the party and agent of chaos and pain still wasn't enough to sway voters to turn against him. You might have seen this chart from the Financial Times going around. It illustrates how in every election held in every major country around the world this year, the governing party has seen their share of the vote decline, leading to a broad wave of losses for incumbents. And this tends to be framed as the grim final act of the COVID era. Most countries experienced a lot of economic hardship during the pandemic and its aftermath, and the ruling parties were accordingly punished by voters at the first chance.
I trust this will suffice.
God smiles upon the generous.
Oh, away with you! Back to your cesspit, beggar!
Crisis, and I feel like it has already become conventional wisdom in many circles that Trump's re-election should be primarily understood as an expression of anger at the high cost of
A land grotesque as its people.
For the last few years, Canada's
You dreamt of utopia. You saw the tribes united as one. Oh. That dream died long ago. You should have done the same. Your kingdom will perish alongside you.
Perfectly rational for Trudeau's campaign to seek to portray Pierre as a
By my hand.
mini Trump. But on the other hand, we have to
I
remember
cannot fathom it. His Majesty killed in his own bed.
The blooms upon the prince's grave had yet to wilt. Without an heir to wear the crown, what will become of the royal magic?
Thus vulnerable, an invasion might undo us.
From within or without, the state hangs on a precipice. It may even come to civil war.
In dark times, we must stand together.
Your Eminence.
Who could do this?
Few could even enter the king's chambers, let alone draw close.
And yet His Majesty's arcane power could deflect near any blade. With all the royal bloodline's magic, who could harm him?
Shadows stir in the castle just as they did with the prince. What hellbound soul could end a royal life? Who would dare such atrocity? Huh?
Luis.
A shame to die with no heirs. The prince was taken too soon. And only a king may wield the royal scepter, the very crux of his vaunted bloodline's magic, which made such a fine deterrent to war. One has to ask, them dead, who shall take the throne?
He's turned for a liberal, actually. Get along with him very well. Was 7 years old. His head grew about an arrow. And I fly with him sometimes. The first time he let me pilot was when I was 7. We were climbing and he told me to move the nose just a little bit. And to my 7-year-old brain that meant to go ahead and jam the yoke all the way forward. And we went into a scary dive. But my father was able to regain control pretty quickly, so perhaps it's an exaggeration to say that I almost crashed it, but it still horrified me. And possibly be the genesis of my terrible fear of heights, which I still have to this day. Yeah, but sometimes you just have to face your fears. And people will tell you that facing your fears is how you get them, but that's not always true. And I hate to be the one to tell you this, but sometimes your fears will stay with you, no matter how many times you face them. So your bravery needs to be persistent. Dear young man, you are a powerful force, and because of that, there are very opportunistic influences that are constantly seeking to weaponize you, to use you as a soldier for their cause. And they do so by appealing to your fears. Always beware when people appeal to your fears to get you to try to
I trust this will suffice.
to think a
God smiles upon the generous.
know that if they're able to get a
Oh, away with you! Back to your cesspit, beggar!
Well, may have a lifelong soldier for their cause. In the Bible, in Proverbs chapter 22, verse 6, it says, train up a child.
A land grotesque as its people.
And when he is old, he
You dreamt of utopia. You saw the tribes united as one.
it could be good advice
Oh.
to shore.
That dream died long ago. You should have done the same.
Young man, certain forces know that you are vulnerable and you are suffering.
Your kingdom will perish alongside you.
Many others probably feel invisible and disposable. See, the forces who want to use you have always been around. But the problem is perhaps more pronounced
By my hand.
people who should have your back just don't
I cannot fathom it. His Majesty killed in his own bed.
The blooms upon the prince's grave had yet to wilt. Without an heir to wear the crown, what will become of the royal magic?
Thus vulnerable, an invasion might undo us.
From within or without, the state hangs on a precipice. It may even come to civil war.
In dark times, we must stand together.
Your Eminence!
Who could do this?
Few could even enter the king's chambers, let alone draw close. And yet,
His Majesty's arcane power could deflect near any blade. With all the royal bloodline's magic, who could harm him at all?
shadows stir in the castle just as they did with the prince. What hellbound soul could end a royal life? Who would dare such atrocity? Huh?
Luis. A shame to die with no heirs. The prince was taken too soon. And only a king may wield the royal scepter, the very crux of his vaunted bloodline's magic, which made such a fine deterrent to war. One has to ask, them dead, who shall take the throne?
See, I didn't have a sense of self-worth, so I couldn't imagine anyone wanting to hire me and pay me enough to survive, let alone experience the American dream. I wanted the American
War
dream
is on the horizon.
like an option to someone like
Before they command that I dry my pen, I must finish my final work.
because of my lack of
It is a tale of hope that may yet salvage this world.
enough to be in a relationship.
It isn't right.
On both accounts.
This idea of foreigners has only ever been a tool against the foreign. If we could end such prejudice, surely war would be next to fade. We would be free to travel to far-flung lands. The reality is, we are riddled with anxiety. We fight. We oppress. And magic is but a tool of war. Our world could be better. Can we not dream such dreams?
What you thought you wanted, only to realize it's not really what you wanted after all. But for me,
In such a world, they need no sorcery. A megapolis is built through learning and skilled labor.
it turned out to be what I wanted.
Glass spires reach the heavens. Safe nights with no dark shadows. Streets well-traveled. And in the laws of these emotionally satisfied people, it reads, all lives are equal. I know, just a daydream. Castle on a cloud. Yet I have faith. I believe that fiction can become hope, wielded by a worthy avatar. I believe a hero will stand true and change the world. After all, this world need not stay like this forever. The will to believe in something beyond us, indeed that, is what we call fantasy.
That's how I met my wife. She was the friend of a friend of a friend. And you went to the club, the bar, the arcade, the mall, the movies, the park, the concert, the car meet, the drive-in, the beach, the block party, and other places. And throughout it all, not a single person was on a cell phone. not trying to be the old man who ain't shouting at the cloud about days and some technology. No, I don't play him into expectations. I like technology. Technology can be exploited. Technology is only as good a man as it. Now, we can still be manipulated back then, of course, but the methods were very different and far more cumbersome. Our pockets were filled with instruments reckless in common theory for indoctrination by clever and confused attention. We didn't have vultures who appropriated the dopamine machine to fill our heads with madness. And the American dream was still available to us because our economic masters had not yet realized just how much we would allow them to take from us. And they will take from us exactly as much as we are willing to give them, which turned out to be far more than any of us imagined. For a young, miserable man without many prospects, everything was about being a badass. Now, I was very heavily into combat sports and weightlifting. I had not just one, but two black belts before the UFC.
I trust this will suffice.
Those eventually
God
became
smiles
third
upon the
degree
generous.
black belts. And when the UFC
Oh,
started,
away with you! Back to your cesspit,
it was
beggar!
much different sport back then, with only a couple of rules and no weight classes. It was far more brutal. The original Mortal Kombat video game was
A land
unreal
grotesque
back
as its
then.
people.
This was back when the only place you
You
could play
dreamt
was
of
in an
utopia.
arcade.
You saw the tribes united as one.
Gathered around that machine. It was like a real fight. And I was on the football
That dream
team.
died long ago.
All very
You
masculine
should have done the
macho
same.
shit. I was constantly trying to prove myself. Back during those high school days, my best friend and I
Your kingdom will perish alongside you.
just collapsed. I think we talked about such things because we were invisible in the real world. We were all latchkey kids raising ourselves. But if everything collapsed, we could finally matter. Be
By
like
my
Mad
hand.
Max. Just
I
very
cannot fathom it.
realistic.
His Majesty killed in his own bed.
The blooms upon the prince's grave had yet to wilt, without an heir to wear the crown. What will become of the royal magic?
Cast onward. An invasion might undo us.
All without. The state hangs on a precipice. It may even come to civil war.
In dark times, we must stand together.
Movie back then was Ram.
Your Eminence.
Who could do this?
Paid attention to the
Few could even enter the king's chambers, let alone draw close. And yet,
His Majesty's arcane power could deflect near any blade. With all the royal bloodline's magic, who could harm him at all?
shadows stir in the castle just as they did with the prince. What hellbound soul could end a royal life? Who would dare such atrocity? Huh?
Luis.
A shame to die with no heirs. The prince was taken too soon. And only a king may wield the royal scepter, the very crux of his vaunted bloodline's magic, which made such a fine deterrent to war. One has to ask, them dead, who shall take the throne?
I wanted as much badass shit as they were able to shove into my contract, but all the badass shit required airborne support, which meant I had to jump out of airplanes and tanks. Despite all the yelling, it was a lot more difficult for most of the others than it was for me. The drill sergeants even used me to properly demonstrate how to do everything to the rest of our platoon and sometimes even to the whole company. And I was very proud of that. At last, I was being acknowledged. And not just by anybody, but by the hardest people I had ever met. AIG, just advanced infantry. My MOS was 11B, which means that I was an infantryman. I immediately went into air which I much less of a physical challenge and much more of a psychological one. Jumping off the tower due to high winds, so I never got to do that. We went straight to airplanes after 2 weeks of practicing peel laps, parachute landing falls. That's important because we use these old Dash 1 Bravo parachutes, which the Army doesn't even use anymore. They're different from civilian chutes. See, you're a target in the air, so those chutes drop you really fast. You hit the ground hard, so you had to land a specific way to avoid breaking your legs. So my cousin was dropped at the paddle, and he told me that his chute was one of the good by the time he landed. So getting down fast is important, but it's also dangerous. But that's okay because the Army paid me a whole extra $100 a month for hazardous peel pay. Our first jump kept getting canceled due to high winds. And we'd prepare, do our checks, go up in the plane, fly around for a bit, then land. And that happened a couple of times, so we got kind of used to it, expected it even. But then one time, the conditions were right, so we had to jump. The mood on the plane immediately, palpably changed when we realized that we were not going to be landing with the plane that day. A lot of these soldiers were just baby.
I trust this will suffice.
Started tearing.
God smiles upon the generous.
One person ahead of me, and he
Oh,
kicked it
away
down
with you!
entirely.
Back to your cesspit,
He
beggar!
dropped his static line, which was a big no-no, so they benched him and made me go first. I had to stand in the open door on the
A
side
land
of the
grotesque as its
fuselage of
people.
the C-130 and look at
You
the
dreamt
ground
of utopia.
1,250
You saw the tribes united as one.
to tell me to go, which seemed like it took forever. And it was
That
really
dream
hard
died long
because
ago.
they
You should have done the same.
jump out of a damn airplane. But when the time came, I didn't
Your kingdom will perish alongside you.
and the noisy world very quiet. And everyone else followed behind me okay. I was really proud of that too. I'm sure they had no idea how scared I truly was because I hid it well.
By my
I
hand.
refused to show it.
I cannot fathom it. His Majesty killed in his own bed.
The blooms upon the prince's grave had yet to wilt. Without an heir to wear the crown, what will become of the royal magic?
Thus vulnerable, an invasion might undo us.
From within or without, the state hangs on a precipice. It may even come to civil war.
In dark times, we must stand together.
Your Eminence.
Who could do this?
Few could even enter the king's chambers, let alone draw close. And yet,
His Majesty's arcane power could deflect near any blade. With all the royal bloodline's magic, who could harm him at all?
shadows stir in the castle just as they did with the prince. What hellbound soul could end a royal life? Who would dare such atrocity? Huh?
Luis.
A shame to die with no heirs. The prince was taken too soon. And only a king may wield the royal scepter, the very crux of his vaunted bloodline's magic, which made such a fine deterrent to war. One has to ask, them dead, who shall take the throne?
I did not do the same. By the way, it's bullshit.
War is on the horizon. Before they command that I dry my pen, I must finish my final work. It is a tale of hope that may yet salvage this world. It isn't right. This idea of foreigners has only ever been a tool against the foreign. If we could end such prejudice, surely war would be next to fade. We would be free to travel to far-flung lands. The reality is, we are riddled with anxiety. We fight. We oppress. And magic is but a tool of war. Our world could be better. Can we not dream such dreams?
Rough landing, but I was okay. It was sort of like falling off a motorcycle.
In such a world, they need no sorcery. A megapolis is built through learning and skilled labor. Glass spires reach the heavens. Safe nights with no dark shadows. Streets well-traveled. And in the laws of these emotionally satisfied people, it reads, all lives are equal. I know. Just a daydream. Castle on a cloud. Yet I have faith. I believe that fiction can become hope, wielded by a worthy avatar. I believe a hero will stand true and change the world. After all, this world need not stay like this forever. The will to believe in something beyond us, indeed that, is what we call fantasy.
That it's not brave if there is no fear. So at least I proved to myself that I was brave. But as I said, sometimes you're wrong about what you really want. And it was a hell of a realization that working so very hard and literally risking my life for it. I was even an M60 build. The M60 is the military machine gun that Rambo used. And my nickname was even Rambo. Not because of anything I said about Rambo, but just because I was so confident. And on these long training rotations in the woods for a month at a time, coordinating these live fire exercises with imaginary helicopters, that was pretty miserable. No walk-through showers, no sex, no kids, no games, no music, no nothing but surviving and training and waking up with your head in the snow. A month felt like a year. And I think back to when I was younger and wanted civilization to collapse and just quietly laughed at what a fool I was. Returning to civilization after training in the woods for a month was absolutely glorious. You do not want civilization to collapse. However bad you think it is now, trust me when I say it can get a lot worse.
I trust this will suffice.
Eventually, I became
God smiles upon the generous.
military and found myself wanting to
Oh, away with you!
following
Back to your cesspit, beggar!
It's just not me following orders, especially when they're the orders of people who are either incompetent or evil, because the price of their mistakes is my life.
A land grotesque as its people.
Never theirs.
You dreamt of utopia. You saw the tribes united as one.
Military operations in urbanized terrain, basically learning how to fight in cities.
That dream died long ago. You should have done the same.
Engagement like the SOP and shields and such.
Your kingdom will perish alongside you.
Things don't matter anymore. Just shoot through them. And it wasn't just the content of that statement that surprised me, but also the way it was said to me in such a casual, nonchalant manner. We'll just shoot through them. Like,
By my hand.
isn't it obvious? And
I
think that's
cannot
why I
fathom
stopped
it.
being an idealist.
His Majesty killed in his own bed.
The blooms upon the prince's grave had yet to wilt. Without an heir to wear the crown, what will become of the royal magic?
Thus vulnerable, an invasion might undo us.
From within or without, the state hangs on a precipice. It may even come to civil war.
In dark times, we must stand together.
Of course, it didn't help that he was an
Your Eminence.
Who could do this?
This was still the 20th
Few could even enter the king's chambers, let alone draw close. And yet
His Majesty's arcane power could deflect near any blade. With all the royal bloodline's magic, who could harm him at all?
Shadows stir in the castle just as they did with the prince. What hellbound soul could end a royal life? Who would dare such atrocity?
Luis.
A shame to die with no heirs. The prince was taken too soon. And only a king may wield the royal scepter, the very crux of his vaunted bloodline's magic, which made such a fine deterrent to war. One has to ask, them dead, who shall take the throne?
Would be on the line, not for the defense of my country. The way they tell you, far more likely somebody as a foreign soldier. There was no guarantee that even if you
hello.
Hey, I'm here now.
Okay. Put that on pause. Alright, so I think I did determine that this was the time when the confusion happened, and I found the old version of the guide. So, I should be able to just continue as I was before. Have to go back in time basically half a week.
Mister? By the way...
Started on the fish.
How do you make this?
Get rid of the bones, dummy.
In that case.
Okay. They said it was tasty.
All right.
Time marches on, and the age of a new king draws nearer.
Well then.
Just lovely.
Lovely, she's just right there.
It's all right.
Let's sneak into the church. Probably gonna fast forward through most of these quests until I
Thank you very
catch up
much.
to... I mean, the thing is, I basically did the same stuff, but... Like, I didn't chart a course for Gracia. But, like, that was a big no.
All right.
That's surely time to go.
So, Hyperic has taken all of the sick people to the volcano.
Actually...
to throw himself and all the sick people into the volcano.
Is this perhaps...
Because when you only allow yourself one god, the only thing, it's like either your god helps you, or you are possessed by a demon and need to die. It's like, if you're not getting help, then clearly you're possessed by a demon and you need to die. Like, the polytheists, the pagans, who each kind of worship in their own way, however, whatever works for them, they're closer to the truth, which is that there are really no gods, it's just, like, powerful things.
No.
It's all right.
Someday, when you're a little older, get somebody to read this to you.
Elvie,
Don't read it today, because
but then...
it's kind of scary for a little baby.
Please, you must.
We should hurry.
Yes, indeed. That means... I must. She, now, a new...
Dark Summoner, was it?
This is something only
Devil
I am
Summoner.
capable of.
And so I'm missing Bardock's final one. I'm missing... What is that one? Anyway.
This is the place.
This one's important.
That's where you want to go. This place.
Let us hurry there.
Spend time with Juna.
What's this?
Hey. Sorry about that. Huh? You know... But... Now then. Thanks!
Really amazing.
Yeah. Hey.
Oh.
Excuse me.
That's...
It'll be fine.
Water and...
Oh. But... I was in the wrong. Well... Thanks. Wait! Oh. Hey. No way!
Well then.
Yes. Please. It's just a pretty flower.
Time marches on, and the age of a new king draws nearer.
Well then.
Alright.
Alright then. Let's go.
Chart a course for Garcia Forest, or Gracia Forest.
Right. Time for the old girl to shine. Now then.
I think we have a favor to do there.
It's your call. Which way should we go?
I don't think there's any reason to go back there. They both take the same number of days. No reason to go past the tomb one then. I think I'll go that way. Spend time with Heisman. For the last thing. Which will be voiced so I can smoke some weed.
Thank you.
Should be voiced.
I wondered if you'd notice.
Wait a minute. Where's the urn?
I'd not say my last goodbyes without telling you. No, he's still with me. But the urn itself I disposed of.
Okay.
It's Ujif tradition, you see. Keeping the remains of the fallen in fine-wrought urns. But my boy, I had not much left of him. Only the smallest of bones. Now, however, those bones rest at my very heart. I asked the young Lady Yufa to craft for me a necklace that I might keep them ever close and safe. Wherever I go, and whatever I do, I shall wear this always. He will never leave my side again.
Oh God.
I mustn't turn my eyes from my son's passing. Nor will I surrender his memory to Earth, left to rest in some place far beyond my heart's reach. No. I have but one course. I will carry my son with me, and we will change this burden of oppression against our people. Until that day comes, when we change this world for the better, I will fight with my son at my side and in my heart.
I'm sure that's what your son would want.
Yes, I think so too.
Yeah, I'm sure your
It
son
will
would want to be
no
crafted
easy
into a
path.
pendant.
But I have made my decision. Thanks to you. We two have spoken of much, eh? Sometimes it's felt as though my son himself has been advising me. And well, I've been through no small pains on this endeavor. But it was that experience that brought me to my decision.
I'm honored.
It's because of the perspective we share. That's how I found a way forward. One I'll not regret. You are the only one who can create a world fit for my son to rest. Lad, my hopes rest with you. And I will see them protected, even should it cost me my life.
I appreciate that, but I don't want you throwing your life away.
You truly have a kind soul. I only hope we can keep malefactors from taking advantage of it. After all this, you are like a son to me yourself, you know? Your life, your ideals. I will protect them as my own. Another toast, then. To us. To my son. And to the children. And their future.
Alright.
The allu by the grace of...
I will never forget how this drink tasted tonight.
Cool.
You should let me hear some of your stories too, eh? Just every now and then. They need not be grand tales. Even passing thoughts are fine. These moments we have, however we spend them, to me, they are precious indeed. I can't remember the last time I felt this way. To think of my future and look forward to what awaits.
Yeah. Got a runner.
That can only be gin.
On guard!
Now, the hunt begins. You can't be. You're the fellow from the exhibition. Not the one who can't be killed. Ugh! Bloody hell! My plans, I thought I finally had a chance at winning back my followers. But if I run now, then there really would be no turning back. No, I have to fight. I have to.
Hey, are you serious? You know you can't attack us, right?
But your allies? That's it! I just have to take out someone from your party. Then my credibility will be unimpeachable. This is my last chance!
My cue, I think. There's moths to a flame!
Don't hold anything back. I think we want to make this one hurt.
The rest is
Leave
up
it
to you.
me.
This'll be a faker! Going for the weak spot!
Oh!
Come on!
Well, there's always a chance that happens.
You leave me no choice!
Straight, Come
on!
My strength is fading.
Stroll, your speed's down!
Souls of kings, give me strength! Come forth now!
Goblin King.
That one looked
Okay.
like nice going, Yufa!
Duskbone Knight.
No! I will fight her!
Gargoyle.
My cause! Wait! I said wait! Please, just spare my life.
Ugh. To kill him here would only sully my lance. Let us take him from this place.
To ever greater heights.
Ah! I didn't know I had it in me.
Spectacular.
The Gauntlet Runner arrives in a land grown thick with trees, the shadows enshrouding it as their claim. A warm, damp breeze passes above the Gauntlet Runner, its sensation cooling the thirst for battle. The night carries on.
Alright, hang out with Nurus after checking the campfire.
All right then.
Let's go!
Oh-ho! Where? Oh. Oh. Thank you. Ah.
Huh?
Well, you're right.
It'll be fine.
Ah, for the blessings of youth. The truth is...
This one's important.
Now then.
Alright. Spend time with Juno.
Time marches on, and the age of a new king draws nearer.
What to pick? What's this?
Let's check. Hey. You know... Huh? Hey. Wait!
Wait a minute. So is this a thing that Nydia can do? Just turn into weird doll people? Like they don't tell the other tribes that they can do it?
Hold on.
That...
Wait a minute.
The truth is...
So all of the Nydia are weird little cherub people that pretend to be beautiful people. That is crazy. That is crazy. That is crazy, crazy, crazy. Every single Nydia is in disguise.
You know... So...
Got it.
Wait! Oh, goodness. But... You're... She...
Upgraded mask dancer.
A new power.
Which is...
Wait for me.
Persona Master. What the... What? Okay. Yeah, okay. Persona Master. Got it. Oh, okay. Huh. Alright.
Then...
I have a feeling that they are using the same magic as in Persona. It's just interpreted differently because they are different, like, different tribes of people. And they have, like, a medieval thought process.
The Gauntlet Runner arrives at the Gracia Forest, temperate and fertile. It was once a place of repose, where the songs of fairies echoed throughout. But as the furnace of commerce demanded its wood, the fairies began to vanish, and having lost its divine protection, monsters made their dens. Fear of what lurks among the trees drove mankind back, and the forest fell into sinister silence. The departed fairies would weep to see it now.
Oh.
Huh?
Well...
Hang on!
No.
Ugh.
Well...
That reminds me.
Onward.
From the perspective of other tribes, the Nydia tribe's true facial features and physique are akin to that of a small child. This causes the tribe difficulty, as they are not taken seriously in their original form. As a result, members of the Nydia tribe begin training when they reach the age of discretion to transform their appearance in such a way that they are not misunderstood by other tribes. This power of transformation is a form of magic, but their magic abilities are only so extensive as to adjust their perceived age of their original form, without having to rely on devices such as magic igniters. To transform, they look at others and mimic their appearance as if performing. This is a special trait of the Nydia tribe, unique to them. However, their transformation is meaningless if it is easily undone in the presence of others. Therefore, as a general rule, once members of the Nydia tribe leave their homes, they keep their true appearance hidden for their whole life, not even revealing it to others of their own tribe. In some ways, this dooms them to a life of solitude, in which all their relationships are predicated by a lie. That many Nydians are eccentric is partially due to this determination they hide within themselves. That is so crazy. But I want to adjust who's in the party. Bring on the captain. Captain Crunch, that is.
Let's go.
Alright. Let's crunch some assassins.
Hey!
Yep.
Yes.
Also, Juna, learn you some Persona Master.
Fascinating. This right here, all right?
I'm counting on you.
Of course.
Okay.
Let's go.
So
I always aim higher.
Okay, that's good. Yeah. Well, Rogue's fakery for sure. Or Faker's roguery. Heavy fire damage to all enemies.
All right.
Medium fire damage to one enemy. Okay. That'll have to work for now. Carapace guy.
You turn my stomach.
Hang on. That sounds right.
Alright, well, I'll just beat them with whatever I have, because
right there.
I probably don't even have to fight them.
Look.
All right.
Yep.
Got it.
I see the enemy. Charging in. There they are.
Let's take it. We may yet find a use for it.
Huh? I see the enemy. All right. How's that? Cat? Right there. Time for some close fire.
Nice. You're gaining strength.
I see the enemy.
Scary. That'll do it.
What now?
All right.
Right there.
Let's push through. My power growing.
Alright, well, unless there is a hidden path.
Everything's pretty standard.
Okay.
There they are.
Come on!
Forward! I see the enemy.
I can feel the power coursing through me.
What?
Right there.
What folly.
I see the enemy. Time for some close
I
combat.
can feel greater power within.
There they are.
Forward! I'll give it my all.
We take us one fell swoop. Persona Master! Burn! Okay, I don't think there's any more backup coming. Let's keep moving. Applause, please. There are still some foes around. Don't let your guard.
I see the enemy.
This power grows stronger still.
Right there.
Hey, I'm here now.
Oh.
Alright, that's the only
What a
item
fortunate
that's in
find.
here. In terms of important items.
I see the enemy. Charging in.
Impressive as ever.
Forward! Time for some close
Power
combat.
coursing through me.
Charging in.
Yeah, nice work. Nice. You're gaining strength.
There they are.
Come on! Very impressive.
Right there.
Not bad. I'm sure you'll find it. All right.
I see the enemy.
Forward! All right. How's that? Come on!
Incredible! This power feels stronger still! Hey.
Right there. I see the enemy. Time for some close combat.
Just take it. You can...
Pretty straightforward little place.
There they are.
All right. How's that?
Feel great.
Especially when you're so overpowered on a
All right. How's that?
easy difficulty setting.
I see the enemy.
Super simple.
Impressive. Your training has paid off.
Nice.
Okay.
Hey.
No.
All right.
What?
Damn it.
I'm going.
Persona Master! This might sting.
Everyone is counting on me.
The rest is
My
yours.
turn. Oh, power of kings!
So much for
Now
that.
accept your fate. What a blunder!
Hey, I'm here now.
How about this? I will fight with pride.
We're looking good here.
Don't Please, after you.
I shall do my best. Go right ahead.
I'll take this. I'll be taking that.
Why, hello there,
You
treasure.
faker! I have my methods.
Poison.
Poison. Juna's poisoned. She needs an antidote before the toxin takes her out.
I'm counting on you.
The captain's
I won't
poisoned.
hold back.
We better cure that before the pain sets in.
Take it.
Thanks. That was helpful.
Quite a boon.
I've got I'll show you.
Even here I go. It is your turn.
Be neither timid nor... Now accept your fate. Smash! Let all power of kings.
Not bad, if I say so
To
myself.
greater heights.
Oh,
So,
That's...
Yes.
all right.
Say,
Don't lose focus.
The boss kind of attacked me, so let's just finish exploring this place. Oh, this is at the very end of the very end. Okay, in that case...
what now?
Was it at the very top?
All right.
Let's head back.
Alright, so now I can return to town.
Hey! Okay then. Right?
And then I have the party on Virga Island. I will hang out with Stroll again.
What's up, Del? Something on your mind?
That's nothing. Just thinking.
Oh no. You're not still feeling unwell, are you?
It's just the twinge now, that's all. I'm sharp as ever, me.
You sure? Because I remember, once the big fever passed, you went hot and cold again a couple more times. I've never seen you go down like that.
I said I'm fine, didn't I? God, but you don't worry too much. Come on, I'm starving.
Something's bothering me.
He seemed pretty healthy.
Just a bad feeling, I suppose. It was a human that wounded him. Hard to say whether the magma might have any nasty side effects. You know.
You mean he may need magic healing? I don't know if we're gonna find that here on the island.
Hey, is there any way we could get Rella to take a look at him? Magla-borne symptoms can take a turn for the worse incredibly fast, no matter how healthy you are. I'd rather not let it fester.
Well, we do claim to help anyone in need, eh? But don't forget you're fighting a battle. And if you cannot distinguish friend and foe on the battlefield, it will be your end.
I know you're right. But I get the feeling those two are telling themselves the same thing.
What if, what if, instead of speeding to her doorstep, we ask her saintliness to come here? It'll just take a bit of conspiring to get our story straight. I mean, I'm not normally a chap to take sides in this sort of thing, but those two hardly strike me as the evil type.
Look, Captain, I wouldn't feel right ignoring this. Will you please go to the royal capital for me?
No problem. I'll go.
I knew you'd say that. Well, if Rella's coming here, I guess it won't be that much trouble.
Thanks. I remember I called you too soft once. I see now I was wrong.
If that's sorted, let's get it done sharpish before any complications crop up.
Thank you so much for your help leading the evacuation. They tell me not everyone got a chance to thank you. So on their behalf...
Don't worry about it. Didn't want the annihilation of a whole village on my conscience is all.
Wasn't expecting you to handle the evacuation side, Del. Thought for sure you'd be the first in the fray with the human.
They healed me up. Gotta repay the favor, don't I? Wouldn't feel right otherwise.
Then for their sake, you should take care of yourself, too.
What? Who the hell? No way. Aren't you Saint Rella?
You're joking. You're not joking. Why is she here?
I called for her and she came. You that surprised? I know people in the Crown Theocracy. My work speaks for itself these days.
It's almost time for the Saints' Day festivities in Montario. Having been invited, I was in the area. I heard about your splendid work, Fidelio and Basilio. I hardly recognized the two of you.
You remember us?
Of course. This is a bit of a reversal, though. Back then, it was you helping treat Basilio's wound. I can tell how far you've come since then.
Ugh.
But I've also heard about your own injury. Your right foot, I'm guessing. Have you felt any sudden fevers come on? Let me have a look. Yes, that should do. I can see you had an expert looking after you already. Physically, you're as well as anyone could ask. But... Fidelio, is there something you feel lost or anxious about?
Where's that coming from?
I've talked to lots of people and observed the flow of their magic. By now, I'm certain that Magla is connected to our emotions. When I speak to someone who's feeling strong emotions, I can sense the state of their heart as if seeing it with my own eyes.
Nah, I'm sound. Nothing's getting me down.
I see. Then you should be fine. Just don't take life for granted, or your treatment will have been for nothing. Keep on living, all right? For now, let's see. Run to the beach and back with Basilio. If you can make it without slowing down, then clearly there's nothing wrong with your foot.
Hey, sounds like a laugh. Just like when we were kids. Step lively, Del, or I'll leave you behind.
Hey, what the hell? I said I'm fine. Oh, damn it. Basilio! Hang on!
Thanks, Rella. When you told me about the first time you'd saved someone's life, I didn't realize you were talking about them.
You're in Luis's entourage now. Yet you needed our stories to match in front of the brothers. You're swimming in dangerous waters, aren't you? Not just that. You've got a gauntlet runner that can teleport across the land and an elder captain who wields it through magic. That's a lot to take in.
Well, how do I put this?
I didn't realize it when I met you before, but you're already one of the top candidates. I saw the King's Rock. Are you intending to confront Luis?
Yes, that's right.
Well, there you have it.
So you're committed to this path, no matter what. I knew this day might come. It's not my place to stop you.
Come now, do you have to be so bleak? I've already spent my fair share of time with Luis, you know.
Don't underestimate Luis. As far as the Crown Theocracy knows, the King's magic will protect the highest candidates from any harm. And they think that guarantees their safety at the festival. But I've done my research. Some attacks the barrier can't stop. I believe the magic only prevents underhanded approaches, like ambush.
So there's a loophole.
It's not widely known, but take a duel, for instance. Both parties identify themselves, fight with consent, and the magic won't protect them, no matter their standing.
But if you just have to identify yourself and agree to fight... Oh, was that why the battle with Gladel?
Suffice it to say the King's Shield is not perfect, and Luis will surely exploit that. I have a terrible feeling there will be bloodshed before Saint's Day is over. I won't try to stop you, but be careful down the road, all right?
I'll protect Juna. I promise.
Well, where is this coming from? Honestly.
Then please, look after Juna.
Ugh.
So if someone
You do know I'm not a
punches
child
Juna in the
anymore.
head, does she get punched in the head? Or is it like an illusion? Like, is she really like an ankle fall?
You haven't won yet!
I suppose we'll have to leave it there.
And by the end of this, am I gonna make the Nidians, like, unglamour themselves?
Can't deny it this time, though. You lot did fantastic.
And Lady Juna's safe too. I owe you thanks for that, if nothing else. The islanders gave us a map of the east side of the island. Their way of thanking us, I suppose. You're welcome to it, if you don't waste it.
See? Old Del's great at looking after people. He saved loads of them in the evacuations.
Oh, belt up, would you?
Oh, it's now.
Been meaning to ask. That's a book, yeah?
Didn't take you for a book reader. Lord Luis likes them, though. Often got his head buried in one.
By the way, doesn't Lord Luis have this same book? I hear it's been banned.
How should we know? Not like we grew up round books. People barely literate nowadays, frankly.
So, what's it say? As long as we're killing time anyhow, let me see it. In this world, one can become anything they desire. Neither birth nor status decides your occupation.
Huh? Sounds grand, that. You think this place really exists?
Course not, you muppet. It's a fantasy, remember? Anyone is free to become anything. This is a paradise of equality and freedom, devoid of discrimination or prejudice. Pretty words, then. But if everybody's free to do what they want, they'll work out their own reasons to be prejudiced. You can call it a utopia, but I reckon people living in it might romanticize our world too. At the end of the day, dreaming of escape will only ever be a dream. Nothing changes unless you do it with your own hands.
Aye. But if we really could do anything, I quite fancy opening up a little diner with you, Del. You like singing, eh? And I'm dead handy with a cook pan. We could invite Lady Juna over. Host a fancy soiree of our own. Every night, just us and our best mates living it up. You telling me you don't like the sound of that?
Get your head out of the clouds, Baz. We're long past being able to get away with that.
Well, at least his plan isn't for everybody to have that. That sounds like a Parapus King plan.
Time marches on, and the age of a new king draws nearer.
Bars for everybody.
Now then.
Yes, of course.
Yes. Just save on that. I could also hang out with Heisme, get a really cool katana, and go into...
Didn't expect them to throw such a party before our departure. A far cry from our first night here in a cell.
I hear 'tis a festival in the Dragon God's name, meant to ensure a safe sea voyage. In place of a lighthouse, their fire is kept burning until the morning.
I say, these locals are barely well informed. They're up to their gills in practical and theoretical magna theory. Not as focused on the mechanicals as us mainlanders, but the land's far from barbaric. Their insights could rather improve the runner's design, you know? Ah, speaking of, I finished with the lance replica.
We're finally ready.
Ixnay on the applique.
Woo! Grand, ain't it? Del's all better. And we've got some choice souvenirs to bring back to Lord Luis.
We're not out of the woods yet. Or are we too quick to celebrate?
Hey, come on, lads, loosen up! It's a party! We've all earned a little fun.
And you? What's a sanctist fat cat like you doing getting all giddy over a pagan festival?
I have to laugh, don't I? You know, I thought the Crier's life had made me pretty knowledgeable about our world, but turns out most of what I knew was lies. Makes me think, maybe this is how my old father felt.
Crier of family trade, eh? Imagine that.
The Crown Theocracy does love their hereditary titles. Yeah, my old man was a serious fella. More than me, that's for sure. He called out corruption where he saw it. Made him a pariah. But there you go. Yeah, I remember he once flat out suggested igniters were more dangerous than the Crown Theocracy was letting on. And there was that riot in the slums, of course, the one started by that Parapus. The church dismissed it as paupers revolting over their conditions. But my old man, well, he said it wasn't a riot at all. Outright accused the Crown Theocracy of turning an innocent Parapus feral through horrific magic experiments.
What?
Who knows what really happened there? Either way, nobody took my father seriously. He was condemned as a liar, and he died young. Just the way it is, I suppose. People will always prefer their own feelings to the truth. Happiness is a luxury hard to come by otherwise. Hard to care about the world after that. I was a poor excuse for a crier, if you ask me. Yet, here I am. It's beyond weird. Somehow, You lot have managed to make the world seem interesting again. I'm genuinely grateful, you know? Makes a man feel as if he owes you.
You owe us nothing. Can't afford any rumors about you being biased in our favor, anyway.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Honestly, though, you need anything, you've got me on your side. I'll do what I can. For now, I'll catch a boat ride to Altabury ahead of you. Once this festival's over, it'll be farewell for the moment. So, let's make this a bash to remember.
Now, time for some fun. Bring out the treats!
And those are?
The fruit is called dragon
Oh yeah,
spears.
blues,
They're quite precious. Their tree only bears once every few
purples,
years.
oranges, reds,
Ah, 'tis delicious.
greens.
Beyond delicious.
What if all of our colors just came from a fruit?
Hulkenberg's tastes are a dubious metric at best.
Please, it's the rarest of harvests, and we would like to share it with you.
Sounds. I feel quite.
Right?
What's going on? There's something odd about the way those two are laughing. But he's crying. What is this fruit?
You see, in old times, so long times ago, people ate this to reach a higher plane of existence and talk to the gods.
Ha! Yes, you certainly appear to have reached some higher state. Glad I passed.
Phew. Finally back to normal. Well, that sure felt like a festival. Not that I'm complaining. Oh, and did you hear? The people of this island make a wish over that flame. It's said that if you write your wish on a piece of paper, it'll bring you good luck. We don't often get to relax like this. So why don't you go there with someone? Have you decided on someone?
Warrior, knight, gunner, thief, dancer, summoner, mage. I still think the warrior having a good weapon is probably the most important one, because he's what I'm going to lean into when I get into the actual bosses.
Yeesh. All right. Some things... So?
Hey!
Huh?
For real?
Huh?
What?
What? Right.
Rebel's Greatsword.
Tell, you hear all that? What that cry was talking about?
Yeah. Sounded proper familiar to me.
It's easy to blame the Sanctus Church for the whole thing. But maybe not all of them were happy about it. Makes you think. I remember St. Rella looked like her heart was breaking, seeing us at death's door. Maybe she knew what was going on. Del, what do we believe in, really? Are we absolutely positive that, you know, Count Luis's vision and ours have enough in common?
I thought we were done talking about this. He's the reason we got this far. A couple of Parapus orphans. Nobody else wants us. Nobody cares about us. We'd be nothing without Count Luis.
I know, Del, but he makes all them speeches about equality, but in the end, he's gonna leave the weak to die. I heard him talk about his ideal world, and it sounds like a world where we'd have died alone in the dirt. No Saint Rella to save us. Is that what we're fighting for?
Too late for that kind of talk, brother. Blood on our hands either way.
Hey! What are you two doing on your own? Come join the party! You'll miss the whole festival.
Lady Juna.
What's that look about? I know you're absolutely smitten with me, love, but you needn't be so tense about it.
Do you plan to kill Count Luis?
What are you talking about? He can't be killed anyway.
Lady Juna, I don't think your heart is with Count Luis anymore. Or maybe it never was. There's a side of you that you only show them. But us? Starting to think we've never seen the real you.
Are you really so worried for Count Luis? He's the one who measures worth in power. So what would he think to hear you underestimating him?
So you don't actually work for Forden or nothing then? No ulterior motives?
I've been with Count Luis since before the race even started, haven't I? Ever since he was stripped of command.
Hey, Del.
I'm sorry if I made you worry. That's my fault. But trust me on this. I promise I'll make sure this world's got more to give you two than despair.
I saw it with my own eyes. That lance gets past the king's magic. That means it can kill a candidate. They were testing it among themselves, and Lady Juna was right there with them.
You serious? How are we supposed to report
Is
that to
Del
Luis?
gonna try to
Don't worry,
kill
it's my own
Luis
problem.
with the
I told you to leave the
lance?
thinking
Because
to
that
me.
would be a crazy twist.
You know, I really like Lady Juna's songs. And I like seeing you listening to her when you
And
get
then
the chance.
fail because it's not the real lance.
You've got arm around your heart, Del, and her music
I just know Del is gonna die. He's got like he's had "I'm gonna die" written across his forehead for the whole game.
Do you?
And he keeps having these "I'm gonna die" moments that he gets pulled out of.
So?
Alright, I don't think I have anything else to do today except I want to look at this equipment. Be a warrior, be a samurai. Let's get you in samurai clothes. Rebel Greatsword, perfect. What is it? Small MP recovery every turn? Fucking alright, that's pretty good on a warrior. Considering one of their issues is that they... Okay. Probably those, unless Strength 5 is going to be hard to. I mean, healing every turn is good. Resist slash damage, that's on somebody else though. So yeah, just incremental HP and MP gains there. With also some regeneration. Yeah, cool. That is looking good. Might just, well, for now, swap him back to merchant.
Wealth is its own weapon, stronger than a sword at times.
And rest.
Good night.
Time marches on, and the age of a new king draws nearer.
Okay, I should have a new book in the bookshelf called How to Walk Outside the Island.
Hold on.
Okay then.
Grand, isn't it?
Well, let's get my Magla here.
What are we on about?
Hey. Let's see.
I need some more Ariadne's needles.
I beg your pardon.
Yes. I don't think I want to even worry about armor and weapons, but
Hey, mister! Oh, it's you! Can we talk? Goodbye now! Hey, mister!
What'll it be?
Hey, mister!
What's it now?
What do you want to do?
Well, isn't...
eventually I might plant these.
All right then.
Just Go by land so I can stop by the water shop. I don't need to, I guess.
All right.
Let's go.
Oi there.
Pick up some meat before I go.
Welcome.
Okay. Into the Gauntlet Runner. Which I think this is as far as I got in terms of story. But I've done a few different things.
Looks like the sea's settled somewhat. We've got a map of the Altaberry region too. I'd say we're set.
Now we can leave with our minds clear and pockets full, eh? Where are those brothers? Out on errands?
I say we just leave them behind.
Yeah, that seems like a bad idea.
Well, long as we've got a minute alone, let's go over our plan. As soon as we get to Altaberry, we give Luis the fake lance Nurse made up for us.
While I hold on to the real one.
Then, on the eve of this divine relic dedication ceremony, we use the real lance to end this.
You literally just finished talking about how you don't know where they are.
We'll use that to our advantage. Juna, we'll need you to convince Luis to attend the eve of the festival.
Oh, I've been pestering him to do so for a while now. Don't want him spending the evening in his heavily fortified Skyrunner after all.
So where is the false lance in question?
Right here, ready to poke an eye out. Oh, what do you think? A dead ringer, eh?
Such detail. Even I can't tell them apart.
When we get to Altaberry, we'll pass off the fake to Luis. Then, we execute our plan.
Oh, by the way, I was talking with the Magnus brothers earlier. Think they might be onto us.
That's not good. We'll need to be more careful.
Yeah, no shit,
Wait,
Sherlock.
Footsteps. Speak of the devils. We'll need to hide the real lance.
You're late. We were about to leave you behind.
Right, all present and counted. Anchors away, what?
Aye aye, me hearties! What's wrong then? Is that not the customary exclamation of sailors? Mr. Batlin was very specific.
I wouldn't believe everything he says.
'Tis a strange melancholy, leaving the people we have so recently come to know.
We'll be back. With some fantastic tales to tell them too.
Yes, certainly.
Alright.
This is Altaberry Heights. We'll make faster progress back on land.
Ah.
Oh.
Ha-ha!
With a new ally in tow, the Gauntlet Runner at last departs the island toward the eastern side of the inland sea. Their destination is the Principality of Montario. Its vast mountain crags, so different from the western terrain, can be seen clearly from the water. Their forthcoming task would be their greatest trial yet. They felt the tension.
I'm gonna take a break and make some dinner. Once I can save, which should be basically right now.
Indeed.
I'll do the 2 travel things first.
What's this?
Let's check.
Hey.
Let's not.
What now?
Alright. Might play a little bit later, depending on how we feel.